It was the day before Thanksgiving. November 24, 1971. At the Portland airport, a quiet man in his mid-40s walked up to the counter. He wore a business suit, a black tie, and carried a briefcase. He paid cash for a one-way ticket to Seattle. The name on the ticket read Dan Cooper. No one at that counter had any reason to remember him. He looked like any other businessman catching an evening flight. He boarded Northwest Orient Flight 305, took his seat, and ordered a bourbon and soda while the plane waited to take off. For a few minutes, everything seemed completely normal. Then, shortly after 3 in the afternoon, Cooper handed a note to a flight attendant. She assumed it was a phone number, the kind of thing lonely travelers sometimes passed along. She slipped it into her pocket without reading it. Cooper leaned toward her and said quietly, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." She read it. And in that moment, an ordinary commercial flight became one of the most infamous crimes in American history. Cooper opened his briefcase just enough to show wires and red cylindrical sticks. Whether it was a real bomb has never been confirmed to this day. But at 30,000 feet, with dozens of passengers on board, no one was willing to find out. His demands were specific. $200,000 in $20 bills, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck waiting when they landed in Seattle. The pilots relayed his demands to the ground. Giving them time to prepare. When Flight 305 finally landed in Seattle, the exchange happened exactly as Cooper had asked. He released all 36 passengers. He kept only a small crew on board. And then he ordered the plane back into the sky, with a new destination, Mexico City. But Cooper had very specific instructions for how that flight should go. Low altitude. Slow speed. Landing gear down. Wing flaps lowered. Conditions that, to an experienced pilot, sounded less like a fugitive fleeing the country, and more like a man preparing to jump. The plane took off into the night, climbing into a cold, rainy Pacific Northwest sky. Somewhere between Seattle and Reno, in the darkness over the wooded mountains of southwest Washington, Cooper moved toward the rear of the aircraft. He lowered the plane's rear staircase, a feature unique to that model of Boeing 727. And then, with the ransom money strapped to his body and a parachute on his back, he stepped out into the freezing night air. He was never seen again. The remaining crew landed the plane safely in Reno. When authorities searched it, Cooper was gone. So was the money. So was one of the parachutes. All that remained was his black clip-on tie, left behind on his seat. The FBI launched what would become one of the largest manhunts in its history. They named the case Norjack. Investigators combed the forests below the plane's flight path for weeks. They interviewed hundreds of witnesses. They investigated thousands of suspects. And they found almost nothing. No body. No parachute. No confirmed landing site. Just a man who had climbed onto an airplane under a fake name, and stepped off it into total mystery. For years, the leading theory was simple: Cooper never survived the jump. It was November, at night, over rugged, heavily forested terrain.